Last month, I was lucky enough to be invited to the PlayStation Experience in Anaheim. As the name suggests, the event is essentially a fan convention for all things PlayStation. If you guessed that I was there to check out any and all racing games on display, then you'd be correct. Though honestly, there were only 2 racing games of note on the show floor, and Horizon Chase Turbo was one of them. If the title Horizon Chase sounds familiar, that might be due to the fact that it's a mobile game on Android and iOS and has millions of downloads. If you haven't heard of the game but it looks familiar, then that means you're probably around my age and you remember arcade racing games from the late 80s and 90s like Outrun, Cruisin' USA, and San Francisco Rush. Horizon Chase is a tribute to all of those games but with a more modern presentation. Horizon Chase Turbo is the official sequel to Horizon Chase and builds on the first game, but has taken up a few notches for console play rather than on mobile devices. I was invited to play Horizon Chase Turbo by the 2-man Brazilian developer team, and I have to say I had a really good time with it, despite only playing it for a short while. The game also features 4-person local multiplayer, runs at 60 frames a second, and will run at 4K on the PlayStation 4 Pro. The game's visual style is colorful and modern, but still borrows from arcade racers from my childhood. The controls were direct and responsive. In this game, you don't so much steer as you select a lane to get around slower traffic or your opponents. There wasn't much of a drift mechanic from what I can tell, but I was playing an early build of the game that wasn't quite complete yet. Horizon Chase Turbo is scheduled for release on the PlayStation 4 console sometime within the first quarter of 2018. But if you want to get a feel for the game now, I'd recommend downloading it on Android or iOS and checking it out.